First episode of Game of Thrones Season 8 shattered records, but you can't please everyone, right? Some critics were not happy with the episode. As we earlier teased in the show, Kit Harington had some harsh words for them. While speaking with Esquire in a Q&A published April 15th, the actor said, quote, "I don't mean to sound mean about critics here, but whatever critic spends half an hour writing about this season and makes their negative judgment on it, in my head, they can go bleep themselves." First off, Brianne, you're a huge Game of Thrones super fan, right? Were you disappointed by the premiere, or were you happy with it?
I loved the premiere. Look, I was expecting the show to come back, all guns blazing, non-stop action. We've got 6 episodes. It's going to be nothing but death and blood and fighting. And it was a quiet 50-minute premiere filled with moments that we forgot we were even desperate to see. All of these great reunions. You had Arya and Jon Snow. You had Bran, and it was amazing. It was an incredible episode.
Yeah, critics were saying that it was slow. Did you feel like there was anything that could have been changed, or you're completely happy with it?
I'm completely happy with it. Look, there were funny moments. You don't expect that from Game of Thrones. They were like, oh, we're gonna bring the comedy here. I do think this is the calm before the storm. We have 6 episodes. This is the quiet one, and the rest are gonna be so full of whiz bang.
Yeah, I also think after being off for so long, you need a reminder of what's going on.
Right.
So to have a super dramatic first episode and many people dying, I think would be a little overkill.
I also think that he has every right to say, like, listen, if you don't like it, get out of here, because we've been working really hard on this. It's the final season. At this point, like, there's 8 episodes. Just enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he has every right to do it at this stage. If he was acting that way at the end of season 1, I may be like, all right, buddy, cool your jets. But, like, it's an established hit. Everybody's gonna love watching the end of it.
I agree with you. I feel like Kit Harington also should not be paying attention to critics, right?
Right.
This very successful show, super successful actor, I think don't pay them any mind. But it's got to be hard.
Other things to worry about.
Yeah, he does. He went on to say that he knows there's a lot of pressure on them to do a really good job, a lot of sleepless nights to work hard. This was his quote. "Now, if people feel let down by it, I don't give a bleep because everyone tried their hardest." It seems like it does kind of bother him, though, that he keeps saying this, right?
Yeah, well, maybe he's having, like, flashbacks to what happened with the end of Lost and people still being outraged about it. He doesn't want that to happen for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will. I went back and rewatched the first 2 episodes and was so blown away by how much was reflected back in this first episode. There's so much forethought that's happened in this show. They're not going to do us wrong, I'm convinced.
And even if they do, isn't there like 55 more books on the way? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like the story of Game of Thrones will continue. There are prequel series on the way.
Yes.
Like, you will have plenty of Game of Thrones to keep you happy. So if this isn't working for you, don't worry, you'll be okay.
The thing is they put so much work into this and these intense scenes. We were talking earlier in the show about Kit getting injured and hurting his testicles.
Yeah.
I never thought I would talk about on online, but it's fine. What was your reactions to that? And I mean, I've rode a mechanical bull. It's really painful as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, same. And I've thought, oh wow, I don't know how men do this.
I know.
I have never done that, and I now
You
never
have to
will.
ride mechanical bull or dragon, whatever you have available.
I think we're done. I think we're done.
But it really does show how much work and pain goes into this show. Brianne, talk to me about the shooting schedule and everything.
Well, it was an insanely arduous shooting schedule that lasted months for only 6 episodes. They spent $90 million on 6 episodes of television.
Wow.
That is unheard of. But you have to also remember that these hours of television are an hour and 20 minutes. They're little mini movies. This, again, was the quiet little warm-up act, and we've got 5 movies ahead of us.
Yeah, he also added that by the end of it, they were kind of doing it for themselves, saying the cast and crew are ultimately the biggest fans of the show. It kind of begs the question, you know, who is art for? Is it, if you do put a lot of work into it and you're proud of it, but the critics hate it, was it still a win?
Well, it's certainly not for the critics. Let's be honest. In all forms of art, it is not for the critics. It is for the artists, and it is for those who are appreciating it. So I agree with Kit's comment because they made this for the fans. They didn't make it for critics. Who cares what the critics think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you got to do it for the fans at this point. And I think the shows that have been smart over the years, that have really said, listen, we're not going to worry about what everyone is saying. We're really going to focus on what we know the fans want, have succeeded and lasted longer and longer because of that.